Hey everybody, this is Chris with Killer Arcade Games, and today I thought I'd give you an update on what's happening with my CarnEvil light gun Arcade1Up Frankenstein build here. So what's been going on is it's finished technically, but there's still more that I wanted to do to it. One of the big things I need to do to it is get another gun. I just have this one aim track light gun. I purposely started with just the one because I wanted to see if I wanted aim track guns or Sinden. After playing with that for a little while, I got frustrated with aim track and decided I'm going to give Sinden a try. So that was around Thanksgiving. I ordered my Sinden guns, paid my almost $300 for them. They said they'd be here in February, and it's now April 26th, and they're not here. And it doesn't look like they're coming anytime soon. Every time I get an update from them, it sounds like they're more and more behind. I'm not too upset because I know COVID slowed everything down. So with that said, I'm still waiting. No updates on that. I wouldn't expect to get them till summer. Maybe, I hope not later than summer. If it goes much later than summer, I'm gonna get a little annoyed, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's just what it is. The other thing I wanted to do to this cabinet was add a trackball. I talked about that in the beginning, probably not really too much, but I mentioned that I'd like to have a trackball in here. I'd like to be able to play games like Golden Tee. I'd love a good bowling game or two. I'd love Silver Strike, but that's not realistic. And the only way I'm going to do that is with a trackball, and I don't have any other cabinets where it makes sense to put a trackball in. This really doesn't make sense, but I can put a trackball in it and it doesn't interfere much because all the gameplay takes place with the guns away from the deck. So adding a trackball isn't a big deal. It's not going to affect the light gun games in any way. Now with that said, I ordered a trackball just to check it out and see how it would work. And I went cheap. I purposely went cheap. You guys know I don't like cheap controls. I like hap stuff, but I figure I need a small footprint to fit in this small area, and I didn't want to spend a bunch of money just to see how it is. So I just decided to grab this $25 light up trackball on Amazon. I thought I could change the light to red because it showed different colors, and I thought a glowing red ball in the deck of a CarnEvil cabinet might actually look kind of spooky and cool. But it turns out I can only make this green, so I'm kind of stuck with that. I know you're probably wondering, how does a $23 trackball perform? So I'm going to give you a very short review. It kind of just sucks. Let me let you hear it really quickly. Ooh boy. Sounds like it's been lubed with Coke and other sugary drinks that only lets it spin for like 1 Mississippi maximum. That said, it actually plays pretty well. I haven't had any complaints. I'm not a big trackball person. I don't think I've ever really played Golden Tee in arcades for more than 10 minutes. For some reason, when the Arcade1Up Golden Tee cabinet came out, I decided I wanted it. I just don't have room for it. When this thing is put up under the deck, it's gonna only stick out maybe a 1/4 inch off the top. So I need to have a routed out section under the deck where it can sit up under there and hopefully become almost flush with the top of it. I'm kind of putting this question out to you. I'm looking for somebody who makes custom decks that are not any thicker than the current ones that Arcade1Up makes. That's where I'm running into the problem. I know custom deck makers. Someone made me an NFL Blitz deck that was great. I loved it, but it's thicker. Noticeably thicker to where I needed to get new screws to make sure I could attach it to the Arcade1Up. So my problem is I need a deck that has a routed out spot for a trackball or even a pre-installed trackball for all I care. Obviously I don't care about quality. And another issue I'm having is I need the trackball to be set far enough back on the deck to where it doesn't interfere with the J panel, but I can still do that without hitting my marquee. So my marquee is right up at the front there. You probably saw it when I built the cabinet. It is in the way a bit, and the marquee placement is actually why I can't get a thicker deck. The marquee is kind of permanently in that position now. Changing it would cause me to change a lot about the cabinet, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm hoping maybe somebody out there knows a custom deck maker who makes them at this size, who may be willing to work with me and make me a deck with a trackball pre-installed, make me a deck where it's already cut out for it. I don't know. So that's where I am now. Let me say this though, I won't be devastated if I can't get a trackball in here. I can actually just pull that off to the side of the cabinet, that trackball, hold it in my hand and play if I really have to. I don't really care that much, so if it's going to become a really expensive project, I'll probably just forget about the trackball altogether. Now the other thing I've done is add new games to this cabinet. If you guys follow my channel, you know I'm not a fan of putting console games in arcade cabinets. I know these aren't real arcade cabinets. I know you probably think I'm delusional, but I just want the arcade feel because I don't like fumbling through console menus, especially when I have a light gun. Light guns don't do well with console menus. So what I did was finally add a couple Wii games. The Wii emulator actually works pretty well. I was able to kind of tweak it a bit. I actually have 3 different Wii emulator installs, one for each game, just to make the button configuration much smoother. That worked out really, really well. I don't plan on doing any tutorial on it. It's not like I'm some genius. It's just I figured out that if you do it this way, I can set up one button configuration per program and move on. Now you may be asking, what games did I put on here that are new? So new is Ghost Squad. That's one that I've played maybe once or twice in the real arcades. I liked it. I never wanted to spend big money to play it in the arcade, but I've been having fun with it playing it on the Wii version here with the aim track gun. The other one is House of the Dead 2 and 3. This is one that I just could not get on here with emulation. I could never get it to work properly. So I went with that route, and I'm actually really happy with it. The voice acting is ridiculous in 2, but that's not the emulator's fault by any means. This is the other game. Now, I'm still working on getting this working properly. I think a subscriber is going to help me on that. I just need to message them. Mad Dog McCree is one I never played, but it looked interesting. And if I can get it working, I'll keep it. If not, it's getting the boot. The other game I tried to add was Target Terror. It did not work at all. There's all kinds of gameplay problems. So House of the Dead is kind of goofy. The gameplay is great, thankfully. The voice acting is ridiculous, but that's just how the game came. I think it works really well. I do have to calibrate my gun every time I start the game, which isn't that big a deal, but it's a little annoying. That's part of the reason I hate console games in an arcade cabinet. I want anyone to be able to walk up, play these games without any confusion, but I guess I just have to be flexible on some things in order to play certain games. So this game is pretty good. I can still change the firing modes by pressing the buttons on my aim track light gun, which is nice. It's using the aim track light gun for everything. A few buttons on the deck for like start, things like that. I can still change my fire modes. I can go automatic like this, or I can just push a button on the side of the gun, which changes it to single fire or burst fire. Kind of like the single fire at times, and then the burst fire for the most part. Oh, that's automatic right there. There we go. I'm not going to play too much of this while I'm recording this video, but if you want to see me play more of this, definitely check out live streams, and you'll get to see me do a little bit more gameplay. Well, that's all for this video. I really wish I had been doing a Sinden review, but it's just not going to happen, not for a while, sadly. But I know a lot of people were interested in this cabinet. I get a lot of questions about it, and I'm sure people were wondering, what is the status? So that's all the information I have right now. I hope to get some updates in the future. If you have any info on a person who makes custom decks with trackballs inside, or if you think you know anybody who can help out, please leave it in the comments down below. If you want to email me, my email is in the About section of the channel. I'll probably just go ahead and put it in the description too. So just look there if you want to email me about it, and I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say on it. Speaking of what you have to say, please let me know what you think of this build in the cabinet. This one's been pretty popular. I don't think I've heard a negative comment so far, not that I'm asking for one, but I'd love to hear your opinions on the cabinet and the build. There are a few things I would have done differently, but overall I'm happy with it. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more arcade content, Arcade1Up stuff, real arcade stuff, playthroughs, live streams, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.